Hello everyone, I'm Renowned Zero. Today we're going to be talking about actress Cate Blanchett creating her own, quote, Rooney Rule, requiring women and minorities to be interviewed for jobs for her production company. Ever since the Harvey Weinstein scandal was exposed to the mainstream masses, women in the industry have used the story to seek more power in Hollywood as a result of his downfall. Actress Cate Blanchett, who was nominated for an Academy Award this year for her performance in the film Tar, says that as a means to leveling the playing field for women and minorities in Hollywood, she is mandating that her production company interview them for jobs. Diversity and inclusion mandates have swept Hollywood in the last 5 years as the industry tries to, quote, fix its problem having too many white men on and off screen for their productions, and Blanchett and production company Dirty Films are latest to announce such an endeavor. Why? While attending the Cannes Film Festival last week, she discussed how her Dirty Films company is creating diversity quotas for hiring to give more opportunities to non-white workers. Again, not hiring people, the best people for the job, hiring people based on their skin color. Something they can't change. First, speaking to her experience on the FX series Mrs. America and how they chose female directors, Blanchett said, quote, "We were around the table one day and we were like, let's just make a list. Let's make our best efforts. And without drawing breath, we suddenly had a list of 70 women who were all completely qualified, capable, and inspirational." Again, this is the woman that played Galadriel, I believe. She would quickly move on to Mrs. America to Hollywood at large, then realizing just how easy it was and how lazy it is, how lazy the industry has been and neglectful to its detriment. Not really. There was a profound malice, and a level of homogeneity to the work because the people behind the lens were making the work too homogenous. And so when you get a diverse perspective, and I'm not just talking about gender and sexual orientation and cultural diversity and racial diversity, I'm talking about generational diversity. And so I think that then the work becomes really exciting, and I think that's what Mrs. America that's what Mrs. America what it was. Blanchett and her co-producer Coco Francini have hired mostly female directors and crew members, and mandated that diversity must be a top priority moving forward. Essentially hiring based on race, not on talent, which is so stupid. And the fact that you're hiring mostly female directors, most likely most of them are garbage. Quote, "We made a rule basically for every single member of the crew that for every position you must interview a woman and you must interview a person of color." So essentially being sort of racist in the sense. Francini claimed, and just pushing people towards that goal brought out all of these very qualified people that they just hadn't met before, hadn't been pushed towards finding, so our crew was incredible. And lots of women behind the camera as well, not just directors. That just because they're women doesn't mean they're good. Most likely, like I said already, they're not good. When asked if this rule applied to all the projects, Blanchett responded, quote, "Yeah, I think it's important too, but it's why not? We shouldn't even be having this conversation." She continued, quote, "And I look forward to the day when we don't even need to have interviews about women in cinema where, it's a non-issue. But we both had experiences where we've walked on set and done the head count and you wonder why you sort of slightly feel alienated and annoyed some days. It's because you realize you get on the block through and you do the head count, and I realize that not only am I the only woman in the cast here for the block through, there are 62 men and yep, I'm the only woman. And what's your point? Please tell me there's a point." Most likely there isn't a point. You're just trying to virtue signal. And so you go, "This ratio is bad," and you go, "I'll do it tomorrow." Okay, 37 men and 3 women. No, not good enough. And maybe those are the best people for the job. So it's not even like the ratio is 7 to 5. It's really disproportionate. And it means you're always laughing at the same jokes. I do have a really good sense of humor, but it's like, let's change it up. Change it up for what? Change it up for what exactly? Blanchett then answered a question about how the industry has changed for women since she started out. She said, quote, "I think it's top of mind. I think diversity is top of mind only for people who want the movies to flop. And I think it's in a way that you can feel sometimes. If I'm honest, you can feel sometimes people going, okay, we're having a diversity conversation. Why though? That's good. That means we're having it as a lot. You shouldn't. And unfortunately, we need to keep having it. No, you don't. Until all the rooms and at all levels of the process of making cultural product, for want of a better phrase, until the product is as diverse as it should be. Again, if you're doing a project that's based on something that requires a certain number of black people, do that then. Don't just not hire white people for reasons. Just because you don't feel like hiring a white person. That's kind of weird. But I've noticed enormous changes. Yeah, definitely. And I feel like there's a lot more from when I started off as an actress in the film industry. No shit. There was a sense of, and to be frank, it did come from the media more than I encountered on set, that you were competitors. You weren't collaborators, and we are natural collaborators. I've noticed that women have really got each other's backs. Probably not. And that women who have power to elevate the wage, to say we're going to have favored nations on this set in terms of, all the sorts of perks, all of the types of films that we tend to gravitate to, there are no perks. But to make sure that the women who maybe are not in that position to argue their corner, you argue it for them and with them and empower them to have their voice on set. Dirty Film's diversity quotas are similar to NFL's league called the Rooney Rule, which is also a diversity and inclusion quota that guarantees that every team must interview a minority coach before making a final decision. The rule has long been criticized, as most NFL teams will interview a minority candidate with no intention of hiring him because they've already selected a coach before the interview. So fucking what? Oh no, that's Cate Blanchett. Film mandates for diversity have been growing over the years, with government throwing their power into Hollywood becoming more woke. Yeah, and look how many times they've hired for diversity and the movies completely flopped. Last year, the state of California voted to pass SB 485, a revision of the state's film tax credits to boost a diversity work plan for Hollywood, matching the film production with the demographics of the state. Operations such as GLAAD continue to push more alphabet representation, with GLAAD CEO Sarah Cate Ellis calling on major studios to include alphabet characters in 50% of all films by 2023. Well, you're a crackhead. Hollywood values representational entertainment, and it doesn't look like the industry is pulling away from that ideology anytime soon. God. I just want to make sure I got the right person. Cate Blanchett. I might have the wrong person. I could be wrong on what I said earlier. Yeah, she was Galadriel. I was right. So, yeah. Seriously, Cate Blanchett, you are racist. Pretty sure everyone thought you were better than that, considering you had a role as one of the greatest characters in all of fiction in playing Galadriel. But it seems like you are just like the rest of the people in Hollywood who want to be so quote-unquote anti-racist that in fact you're actually racist. So you want to say, let's not hire white people. You sound just like Jordan Peele. And if the races were swapped, I'm pretty sure you'd have a huge problem with that. So my thoughts on your mandates for diversity hiring in your company, honestly, go ahead. I'm pretty sure your films are not going to be made better by not hiring a certain race and by hiring female directors. So, for the most part, like I said already, female directors are trash. Seems the only female director that's actually been good was James Cameron's wife, who made The Hurt Locker. I'm sure someone's going to say Patty Jenkins. She made one good film, and then the second film of Wonder Woman was garbage. Was absolute dog shit. That's why she was taken off Star Wars. And if you guys have any female directors that you think are good, leave it in the comment section down below. I'd really like to see who y'all think is good, because in my opinion, I don't think there's any good female directors besides the one I just named, which was James Cameron's wife with The Hurt Locker. But thank you all for checking it out, this video. I really do appreciate all the new subscribers. We are pushing for monetization towards the end of the year. Just need to get 1,000 subscribers. I've already got the watch time done. Grinding videos for you guys every single day. Hit the like button if you do like the video. Again, comment below what you feel about all this. Subscribe for more content like this. Hit the bell for notifications. Set the bell to all. That way you get notifications anytime I post a new video. And I will see you all on the next one. Peace.